what it is. As for the overall performances, guys, I think there's context behind why our performances have not been that good. Number one, we have had situations where we've been under the clutch and we've had 3 red cards this season. I'm not gonna only mention that though. There's also been a situation where if you look at our fixtures, we've had the hardest fixtures compared to other teams. We've faced, I think, what is it, 5 teams out of the top 10 already this season, with Tottenham, Aston Villa, Man City, who else? Newcastle, and what else is there? I can't remember off the top of my head. But we faced a bunch of teams in the top 10 away, not only just at home, away from home. So understandably so, our away fixtures have been extremely difficult. From the top 10, out of our 11 games that we played, 8 of them have been against the top 10, and that's where we've dropped our points. If
No
you look at it,
excuses now, then, Egal. No excuses
one
now.
second, one second. Let me get to my point though. Liverpool, you know what? Let me bring the graphics. You know I love bringing graphics, so I'm gonna bring them. Right? I know things already. What do you call it? Everyone's saying, "Come on, stop it." But listen, you need to understand where I'm coming from. I do think there's context behind everything, and this is the context that I want to bring to the table. This is Liverpool's 6 wins out of their first 9 games for Liverpool have come against these teams at the bottom half of the table. Arsenal have played 4 of these teams, and we lost to one of them, which is Bournemouth. We won the other 3, right? In context, the top half of the table, Liverpool haven't played too many of them. Liverpool have played 3 games against the top half of the table. And yes, they beat Chelsea. And I think they lost to Nottingham Forest and they drew to Arsenal. So from the 3 games that they've played out of the top 10, they've lost 1, drawn 1, and won 1. So it just goes to show you their schedule has been skewed heavily to the worst teams in the league. Where Arsenal, we've played 8 games out of our 11 games against these teams. Aston Villa away, win. Brighton at home with 10 men, we drew. We would have won that game if it wasn't for 10 men. Tottenham, we won. Wasn't the best performance, but we got the W. Man City, we should have won, but once we got down to 10 men, we were fighting for our lives. Bournemouth, we all know what happened.
So we have a disciplinary.
The Liverpool game, another game we should have won. Better performance, overall poor result. And this is where this has been the story of our season. I do think the fixtures are going to swing.
Just quickly, didn't Liverpool take 7 points off of Chelsea, Arsenal, and Villa?
No, Liverpool took.
Well, they did.
Liverpool dropped points to Arsenal. They dropped points to Nottingham Forest, and yes, they took 6 points off Chelsea and Villa. But that's
a point off of us.
Yeah, but you're looking at it in the sense. You're looking at it in the sense of points that they've gained in those periods. Yes, they won 2. They dropped points in 2 of them. They've only had 4 tough games compared to Arsenal, where we've had 8.
All these excuses basically means after phase 5, we're not. But it is, because if you're saying
Northside,
all of that based on what you said,
you cannot sit here. You cannot sit here.
And based on what you said, you're saying if you
didn't sit here and tell me, Aston Villa away, Tottenham away, Man City away.
What's that down to? That's down to discipline. It's down to discipline. And if we don't have somebody to back up Odegaard, that means that we didn't do enough in the transfer window. That's what it basically means. But you're trying to avoid that.
We keep going back to the transfer window.
Back on their fixtures and say, oh, if we wasn't unlucky here, or if we finished our chances there, everyone can do that. Ultimately,
one second. I am not making excuses for the poor performances. I'm simply saying.
And this is irrelevant then.
1 second. It is relevant. And let me explain to you why it's relevant very quickly. The reason why it's relevant, it goes to show you that when the fixtures do swing, I have very positive hopes that we will see ourselves picking up points against some of these smaller teams, as we have done this season, where when we played 4 games against the bottom half, we've gotten 9 points out of 12, where the games that we've dropped points is against the top half of the table. And there has been context in all of these games also in why we've dropped these points. So I'm not losing my mind saying, hey, it's over. Liverpool can drop points against the top half of the table. I see Liverpool go to Aston Villa, Tottenham, Man City away, Newcastle, and Chelsea. They're going to struggle. It's not going to be a simple win for them. And also, how many away games have we had this season already? We've had way more away fixtures. Second half of the season, we're going for a title charge, and we're going to have easier fixtures. We're going to have more home games. We're going to see. You guys are going to be at the Emirates more often than being away from home. And I do expect us to not only pick up points, but we're going to see all these other guys dropping points around us. We just need to get our consistency level. We need to see our performances, similar performances versus Chelsea and Inter. We win majority of those games if we have a similar performance. It's just the result wasn't coming out good.
Okay, listen, Brandon, I'm going to throw this to you, man, because I've got a couple of super chats here very quickly that I'm going to do before I lose Brandon again. From Suj, big up Dan in the panel. Says, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. I'm not sure if Arteta's lost the complete locker room, but questioning the tactics. Big up to you. NA says, when Liverpool or City win the league, I'm celebrating solely based on the... Okay, cheers for the super chat. This one comes in from Sava. Big up to Sava. Make sure you're following Football Heritage TV. Egal is amazing. I've never seen anyone get every single opinion wrong week in, week out and still tries to defend it. He sounds like the cult of Ange that won't tell the truth. Have to laugh. You're not getting any love from Sava there in your opinion.
He's Ange out, eh?
He is Ange out. He definitely is, by the way. He really is. He's actually properly Ange out. This one comes in from Conrad. Said, how was Galatasaray able to get Osimhen on loan for 96k a week, but Arsenal loaned Sterling for 100k a week? That is a very good question, by the way. That's a very good question.
Because their window closes last.
Afford him because of
Dan,
PSR.
do you know what? Dan, do you know what epitomizes Arsenal? Do you remember a couple of transfer windows ago when we went for Douglas Luiz last day of the transfer window? That is how we've conducted business for the last 20 years, and we don't get over the line. You can look at it when we were linked to Benzema, Higuain, Draxler, Houssam Aouar, Buendia, Isak, all these players, bro. We don't move fast enough when we need to move fast. We don't do it often enough. And we allow other teams to look at our players to their heads to be turned. Oh, maybe I'll look over there, or maybe I'll do this and that. We are reactive, not proactive. So why am I going to expect anything different in January? Why am I going to expect anything? I don't. Because this club hasn't shown me that level of ambition. Yes, we went out there and got Ozil, didn't build on it. Yeah, we had Alexis Sanchez. We needed more. We didn't go out, we didn't push and build the team. We're always part building. We're never complete. This is the problem. You can talk to me about Declan Rice. We needed more, and now it shows. And now we're seeing exactly why we need more. We went out and did good business to get Trossard. I still think Trossard's a good player. He's playing really poor, but he's a good player. But we didn't build on that. We didn't build on it. And this is what we do. We part build. We've got two really good centre-backs. We've got Saka, that's a good player. Odegaard's this, but we need more. And what do? We don't go out there and do it. So why am I going to change my opinion of this club? Why don't this club act differently, and then we'll feel differently about this club? This club needs to get back to the days where when we went and got Sol Campbell. Instead of him signing a new contract to Tottenham, that was going to be the biggest, the player on the highest wages at Tottenham at that time ever, and their club captain, and we went and got Sol Campbell. When we went and found Overmars, when we found Nasri, when we found Fabregas, when we found Adebayor, when we found Van Persie. This is the thing, we're always half built. This is nothing different to the past. Nothing different. And I'm not surprised the fact that this club is not going out there and getting the targets that we need when we are now able to compete. As soon as we get Champions League football, foot off the gas. It's the same thing that we had under the last 10 years of Wenger. Foot off the gas. As soon as we get top four, well, we could do with or without the player. Maybe, I don't know. There's no quality in them. They're asking too much. Just pay the money. Just pay the money. If this club really want to put me, Lee, everybody else that sounds like us in the mud, go out there and get the players. And then Egal can celebrate at the end of the season, say, Northside, you're in the mud. We won the league. Cool.
But you know something, Northside? This is the thing. I agree with you. We could have done better. But in the same breath, Liverpool didn't do nothing. Man City got a 95-year-old in Gundogan. They didn't do nothing. They brought in Savio also. But overall, when you look at our competition, yes, maybe we didn't have an ambitious window, but no one really did. And in the grand scheme of it, I thought our team was better than. I think our team is better than Liverpool's. We're just underperforming right now. We could still get back.
I don't care about them, Egal. I care about
no. I understand. But your whole point is the lack of ambition, and my point is Liverpool won the league. The year they won the league, they didn't sign anybody. Man City don't go and sign 4 or 5 players every window. There's going to be holes in your team, and you're going to have to find ways to manage it. We've not done a good enough job to weather the storm with Odegaard's injury. We've not done a good enough job to weather the storm when we get red cards and all these incidents. But going forward, right now, we can't sign somebody in November. We have to wait until January. And even in January, you said it yourself, you don't think we're going to be bringing in anybody. I think we're going to have to manage with what we have. And Mikel Arteta is going to have to find Mikel Arteta is going to have to get the best out of what he has. And us arguing about what happened last window, what's going to happen next summer, honestly, that is not something that is going to benefit us in the short to immediate term. We need to fix our midfield and try to figure out what we're going to do with the midfield trio. We need to figure out how we're going to get Martinelli firing. Yes, he scored versus Chelsea, but he's not had a good season since 2 years ago. Bukayo Saka, he's not looking fully fit, and he had a poor game versus Chelsea. But even then, he could have set up an assist from Mikel Merino at the end. We could have all these games that we drop points in small margins. And I don't think it's as big as a big deal as everyone's making it seem, because we are still having some good
what does wind me up though, Egal? I've got to say this. What really frustrates me is when me and Turkish and Troops and Kenny and Northside, etc., said this window ain't that great, and everyone told us to just shut up and stop being negative and get on with it. And now when they've realised we were right and it weren't a great window, what do they say? Well, we just got to deal with it. Now we can't moan about it. We just got to deal with it. What the hell is that all about? Like, for me, so why have a go at all of us by saying shut up and calm down and then go, oh, actually, you were right, but let's just get on with it. No, let's not get on with it. Let's make a moan about it, because this is not good enough. We should have been gone into that window and it should have been fantastic. We should have been going for a Kudus, a Kvaratskhelia. We should have been going for an Isak or a Gyökeres, not Raheem Sterling on the last day, bro.
I agree with you. But the thing you got to understand is, same way how you have a go at Arsenal fans for standards and them not putting pressure on the club, is the same thing people are going to say. You're being a Debbie Downer. You're ruining people's vibes. That's the thing. They don't want to. Certain people don't want to hear what you have to say because they don't agree with your opinion. And same way, people don't want to hear anything I have to say when they're on Northsides or other people have a different type of opinion. The reason is because you don't want to hear somebody try to debunk your statement with another argument that you think you don't agree with. But hey, my main points from here, I think Arsenal will have Martin Odegaard fit and available. I think we're going to have Rice fit and available. I think we're going to have Saka fit and available. And it's not just down to availability. It's also down to the style of play and how we play. At our best, when we have our team firing and we're not going down to red cards, we should go on and smash Nottingham Forest. It doesn't matter that they beat Liverpool. I expect us to beat them. West Ham, I expect us to beat them. I expect Arsenal to get on a run when we get back from the international break. And it starts with the performances at home matching up with the results, because we're getting performances from these guys. It's just we're not getting the results, and really and truly, it's a result based analysis at this point. Because some of the performances we put in have been good. Liverpool, Man City. I think even the Inter performance was relatively decent, and the performance versus Chelsea in the second half is just we're not getting the results.